My guest is Francois van Coke, who is a singer, songwriter, TV personality, general good guy, and an old friend of mine.
Two sessions. This tattoo for my son. He was born 4 months ago.
Congratulations!
Cool, thank you.
Hey, how are you doing?
I'm cool, and you?
So good to see you again. I always enjoy seeing you and tattooing you for years now.
Lucky to see you.
When was the first moment you realized that music was what your love was and not rugby? Well, actually, you love rugby.
I do.
But when you wanted to make it your career?
Yeah, I'm not sure when I realized I wanted to make it my career, but I think when I kind of grew up listening to music, but I wasn't really into it. I mean, you know, when I was in primary school, I guess like the stuff that was big at the time, Vanilla Ice and Dr. Alban.
I've tattooed Vanilla Ice.
Really? No
Yes.
shit. I guess I listened to those things. And I don't know if you remember Technotronics.
Yes, pump up the jam, pump it up.
So I had that tape.
I don't know that song at all.
I had that tape.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so I listened to that kind of shit. And then when I went to high school, my sisters are a little bit older than me. So they kind of introduced me to the more alternative stuff like Pixies.
Thank God.
Pixies and Violent
Thank God,
Femmes.
sisters. Shout out to the sisters.
Yeah, thank God for them. And then I kind of got into Nirvana and Pearl Jam. And I think that kind of changed everything for me. Nirvana, I got a friend of mine stole the Nevermind album at the Pick and Pay hypermarket in Brackenfell for me. He stole it for me. And that was a massive influence, obviously. Pearl Jam, Green Day and Offspring, that all kind of came
at the same time.
At the same time, the Green Day Dookie and Offspring Smash. So those 4 albums, I think, kind of changed my life. It wanted me to pick up a guitar and play music. Yeah. But I never thought it will be a career. You know, I always thought I'll kind of play in a band and I want to jam or whatever. And I think when we started Fokof and I wanted to play bass or guitar in the band, and I was just the cuckest bassist and the cuckest guitarist, so they forced me to sing. And then I became the singer. And when we recorded the first little EP, we went up to Joubert to record it. And while I was doing vocals there, I think I realized this can actually become something. And then music was my career for me.
The career, yeah.
Ek sal my beloftes breek as jy my net 'n kans kan gee.
If you could pick one album or a song to narrate on the road part of your touring, which song would you use?
Funny thing, at the moment, because we're not touring, on the road again, Willie Nelson.
You would want to hear that.
On the road again. I think for normal vibes, Bob Seger's In the Face.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll have to listen to
Yeah,
it.
he's got.
I don't know who he is.
It's really cool. He kind of sings about being on the road, putting everything in every night and kind of ending up alone in your hotel rooms. It's quite cool, yeah.
Geliefdes, ons weet ons sal altyd na sy braaksel toe terugkeer, maar nie so verpas wees nie.
How do you think your religious background has influenced the performance aspect of your music? I remember I also tattooed Vainant, and he was telling me how you guys were in a church band when you started, and you realized how enigmatic the preachers were and how you could engage an audience.
Yeah, I think actually for me it comes a little bit from even earlier because my dad is a minister, you know. So like when I grew up, he was always kind of like up there. So I guess that it definitely had an influence on me. You know, I also wanted to do something to be there, I guess. And I hated kind of the spotlight when I was a kid, when my dad was the minister, because in the church community, people would always know who I was. And I didn't really want to be known, so I don't know why I actually stepped into this position, but I think it's kind of started there. My mom is also into drama and stuff, so I guess the performance background is all the way through that. And then we were in this massive charismatic church, and I think we learned a lot of how to kind of talk to people, I guess, and hype them up through kind of a spiritual kind of journey, but just applying it in a secular way to, take people on a journey in a live performance,
Onder die straatlig, onder die maanlig, steek vir my as die revolusie verby is. Ek by verveeld in my bene is seer. Ek staan voor jou deur en my kop klop.
So tell me now about your going solo, because obviously we all know so much about the success of Fokof. What led you to go out on your own?
Yeah, I think like in a band scenario, you're kind of married to everyone in the band and their ideas and what they want to do with their lives.
Right.
And I think in Fokof Poliska we came to a stage where Johnny wanted to start a studio and he wanted to focus on kind of doing stuff more behind the scenes, and there was a couple of things that happened. We had like this media scrutiny around Fokof, and I think we kind of like burned ourselves out over kind of 4 years, and then we kind of took a break from that, and then I started this other band, Van Coke Cartel, and we did that and focused on that for a long time, and then that also kind of, our drummer went to the States and he wanted to go make a career there. So it's always someone that wants to do something else.
Did you, sorry to interrupt, but did you start getting more confidence as a solo performer in Van Coke's? Because that you were a bit more, were you starting to write your own songs like that?
Yeah, so in Fokof Poliska I wrote a little bit, but Hunter and Johnny was the main songwriters. In Van Coke Cartel I kind of started writing songs on my own. And it was a stepping stone to becoming a solo artist, but I never thought of becoming a solo artist. It was never something in my mind. I mean, it was just the way things happened, And in a band, like what I wanted to say in the beginning when I started the answer was, you're married to people and people make choices, and you can't always count on other people's choices for yourself. And in a solo career, while I still play with a band and I still play with great musicians and I love working with them, at the end of the day,
you're the boss.
Yeah.
I can agree with that. I like that.
I decide what happens next, and I like that kind of independence. Yeah.
Ek moes leer droom, hier waar die storie doodloop, aan die verkeerde kant van die nasionale pad, fantaseer waar hier wegkom, die berse skadu val, die vierpaparkie brand, stap veilig agter slot.
Tell me about that first solo launch, because I remember coming to it at the Eye. Remember?
Yeah.
How did you feel about that?
No, obviously I was super nervous. It was like I was completely broke. I didn't have any bucks. It was at that stage when kind of not Fokof Poliska or Van Coke Cartel were active. I was writing these songs that I didn't know what it was going to become, and it eventually became my first solo album. Recorded it, didn't have any money, got a label to put it out, still didn't have any money. So it was a very stressful time. I actually couldn't sleep for like 2 weeks leading up to the release. And then the day the first single dropped, things kind of just changed. And it became a very successful song, something that like a lot of people could relate to, not just people that are into rock music, like Afrikaans people from all walks of life, I guess. Yeah. And then obviously that was very exciting, so then I couldn't sleep for another 2 weeks. It was like a month of no sleep. I had to go onto sleeping pills eventually just to
relax.
Yeah. So yeah, it was a cool time. I mean, it's almost 5 years since, no, it's almost 6 years since then. So yeah, I've been a...
I remember it like it was yesterday.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's almost 6 years.
Richie, take it away, my boy. Dagdrome in Suburbia. Ek het jou gesien, ek hou nog my hoop. Ek hou nog my hoop. Oh, Dagdrome in Suburbia. Ek het jou gesien, ek hou nog my hoop. Dis in my huis, ek hou nog my hoop. Ek is by die huis. Dagdrome in Suburbia. Ek het jou gesien, ek hou nog my hoop. Dis in my huis, ek hou nog my hoop. Ek is by die huis.
I mean, the last 15 years or 18 years that I've been playing like full-time in a band, and then 5 years before that I've been playing in bands. I mean, it's like 3 nights a week you get to scream out your frustration at people, and you feed off the energy of people and crowds, and it being gone, it's definitely weird.
Yeah.
It's not, it doesn't feel like life is normal.
And do you feel like your kind of affirmation has now become electronic? Like you're going to get that energy back from the likes and from the streams, and like you've had to adjust your whole...
Yeah, fuck, like I'm trying to not
Yeah.
get it through those channels
Yeah.
as much as
Exactly.
any human should try and not not feel cool about, not feed off like likes and love online.
Well, thank you so much for coming here, and
Thank you.
I hope, I hope you have all the success in the future.
Thank you, and you too.
Sweet. It was always a wrap. Thank you, bro. Thank you, bro. Anytime.